Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Seriously, I thought you fell asleep over there. It's the weekend, so let's do the whole doggone thing. Saturday, December the 23rd, National Roots Day and Human Light, National Fufernus Day, and Festivus for the rest of us.
Fufernus.
Yeah, Fufernus. You don't know what Fufernus is?
I do not, and
Well,
I can tell you're getting ready to look it
I'm
up.
going to tell you. Well, I don't know how to officially tell you without Googling it. So I want to make sure I say it right. Fufernus is a cookie. And this is the day it's a German spice cookie popular around the holidays. We've had these before. We had this discussion a year ago because I did the exact same Google search last year. All right. What else is going on this weekend? How about the 24th, Christmas Eve, National Eggnog Day, Sunday, Last Minute Shoppers Day, and National Consumer Rights Day. All of that happening this weekend. And I have a guest, Dr. Michelle Oakley, wrapping up Yukon Vet after over a decade of doing the show. And we're going to chat about what her plans are. And I think the final episodes are coming soon. So we'll chat with her all about that coming up.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, but it can also be expensive. Are you still paying for last year's Christmas gifts? Maybe you need better credit cards. We'd love to help at bettercreditcards.com. Find a card that's a better fit for your needs. Some like cards with points or miles. Others just want a lower rate. Find what you're looking for at bettercreditcards.com.
Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. The countdown to Christmas is on, and hopefully it includes some time off for you to spend with those you love the most. Family or friends or whoever. Time off work, of course, is closely associated with happiness. And according to a new survey of workers in the United States, the happiest people took off an average of 15 days last year. How many did?
We didn't really take much time off at all.
Okay, well, that's the good news. The not so good news is that a whopping 38% of workers took less than the average. Some because all they are allowed to take, others because they felt they couldn't get away. Might sound familiar to many of us. To compensate for the guilt of leaving their work for vacation, 66% put in extra hours ahead of time. 69% responded saying that they did respond to people while they were on vacation. And 87% of employees said they would prefer a $10,000 raise instead of taking any vacation at all.
What?
Yeah. They're like, I don't want a vacation. Just give me extra 10 grand.
Yikes.
Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know that every year you hear about those surveys that tell us how much money we're expected to spend as a nation on Christmas and how much individuals expect to spend on gift giving? Here's a new angle. According to a new survey of adults who participate in gift exchanges, whether it be friends or coworkers or part of a Secret Santa, White Elephant exchange, whatever, they expect to spend an average of $88 on gifts, simply for that type of gift giving. The poll, commissioned by discount retailer Big Lots, found that among adults who celebrate Christmas, the average participant say they're involved in 6 different gift exchanges, and a total amount.
I see.
Yeah,
total
amount
for
is
all of those. I was going to say,
$88.
that's an awfully high limit.
They spend about 11 hours shopping for all that stuff, and they say they're likely to exchange presents with family, friends, coworkers, and even participate in gift exchanges with strangers they meet in online communities. I've seen some of that stuff happening recently where people are like, hey, who wants to do a gift exchange? We just do it in this little group, and then, everybody does a little something. I think that's kind of neat. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Olivia Wilde is set to direct her first film since her thriller Don't Worry, Darling. Synopsis for a Christmas comedy is called Naughty. They say the upcoming movie follows a mother, Mallory, who is in hopes of securing custody of her son by gaslighting her ex to find Santa Claus and convince him to testify in the divorce hearing. So,
Wow, that's interesting.
What? Library of Congress announced 25 films joining the National Film Registry. There's a bunch on the list, but Home Alone is on the list and Nightmare Before Christmas. And speaking of Home Alone, fans of that film went wild after a trailer was dropped on YouTube for a supposed third film starring Macaulay Culkin and Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. The fake trailer features a grown-up Kevin taking place 30 years after. So it's not really...
It's not real.
But
no,
boy,
it was a
people
spoof.
were excited. And
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was handing out Christmas gifts at a youth center, and that video has gone viral. You can see that. I got a link to it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, but it can also be expensive. Are you still paying for last year's Christmas gifts? Maybe you need better credit cards. We'd love to help at bettercreditcards.com. Find a card that's a better fit for your needs. Some like cards with points or miles. Others just want a lower rate. Find what you're looking for at bettercreditcards.com.
Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Now, your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. A survey found that 3:18 p.m. on Christmas Day is the peak time for family fights. That late in the day for you guys? We just get to it right away. We do it like 8 a.m. 17% of people say they will re-gift to save money around the holidays. We've done that before, but not a lot. But it's usually when you get something, you're like, I don't even know what I would do with this.
A lot of things that are regifted are just gift cards where they're like, I have to come up with
Yeah.
something for so-and-so, and I just got this, and I'll just...
We had a classic tale of regifting because my beautiful bride and I are on a diet, and we had a lady bring us cookies. And we told her we're on a diet. She goes, you can give it to somebody else if you want to. And then while she was standing here, somebody else came in. I was like, want some cookies? It was like they actually came from her. So I was like, it was really cool to see that regifting happen so quickly. And a kind-hearted schoolboy is helping the poor this Christmas by opening his fifth food bank and donating toys to families who can't afford to buy presents.
Wow.
Isaac Winfield is this young man's name. He made headlines a couple months ago after a food bank outside of his home was robbed.
Oh
Thieves
my gosh.
took 50 pounds worth of food. It's like not $50, but 50 pounds worth of food, leaving the shelves bare. The 12-year-old started this Friends of Isaac food bank on Facebook 3 years ago using his money that he got for his birthday. And then it went viral. Now he helps hundreds of families every week. After being targeted by the theft, well-wishers helped restock that food bank with thousands of pounds worth of donations. Now he's been enlisted to help other areas like a local pub store the donated goods after being inundated with hundreds of toys and gifts for the needy families. So this kid's got like his whole community pitching in to help. And again, I don't know if you caught this, but he's a schoolboy. He's just a kid. He's a youngster. He's one of the Ute,
I
you
don't know
might
if
say.
the people who robbed that realize how the food bank works, but it's free.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. The final season of Yukon Vet Nat Geo Wild is happening right now. We've got Dr. Michelle Oakley joining us from the Yukon. It's kind of chilly where you're at, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I live in like most of my time is in Southeast Alaska, Haines, which is like adventure capital. We have extreme skiing, tons and tons of snow because we're on the ocean. But we get like wicked winds and cold and wind chills. It's a pretty exciting time of year here.
And you're in the final season of Dr. Oakley Yukon Vet on Nat Geo Wild. This has been going on since 2014, is that right?
Yeah, can you believe it? We started actually filming in 2013, so it's been a decade of work, and our 12th season, it's the final season.
So this is the final season, but you're not done, are you? You got other stuff up your sleeve, right?
We're looking to do some I do a lot of international wildlife work all over the world. This show, Dr. Oakley Yukon Vet, has mostly focused on my work in Alaska and Yukon. Even this season, we do some international work in Costa Rica and some other things. But for this show, it is ending. This is the final season. We have our 100th episode this season. It's kind of the end of an era for us. It's exciting. People have watched my kids grow up and watched me age on the show. My kids help me I have 3 daughters, Sierra, Maya, and Willow, and they help me with all the vet work and have even before 10 years ago when we started. So people have watched them grow up from, 8, 9 years old. Now they're 20 and 26. And so, and my oldest daughter, Sierra, just went off to vet school in Australia. So that happens during this season. So, it's been pretty cool, I think, for people to watch us all working together as a family and watch the kids grow up over this decade.
You're right. They get to see how your family works together. And for your family, this is not a job. This is a calling, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this has definitely just always been a passion of mine since I was a little kid. All I could think about was, becoming a vet, working with animals. I grew up watching Jane Goodall on Nat Geo myself and was really inspired by her. And now, I'm getting all these letters every day from little kids who watch the show and even adults who watch the show. And I'm like, thank you. This is one of the few shows we can watch together as a family. Or these little kids are like, I want to be a vet when I grow up. And, and I've even gotten a few letters in the last couple of years of, your show inspired me to be a vet, and here's a picture of me in vet school. And, oh, man, that's it makes me emotional. But it's really, really exciting to have had that kind of a platform. Sorry to get emotional, but it's like, yeah.
No, I understand.
10 years of sharing our story and to now feel like, I've inspired other people to go help animals. I mean, that's just a dream that I couldn't have even imagined when we started.
And you help pet lovers and animals in many, many ways, like a partnership with Better Wild. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Like I do work on dogs and cats too, and of course with all the wildlife work. And the dogs and cats, especially the dogs, the number one issue I see are allergies, mostly food allergies, and it causes like really itchy skin. It causes chronic ear infections, licking their paws. And so that is misery for so many of my patients. And I was like, enough of this. Why is it such a big issue over the last, 20 years? And it used to be, and you don't see it in wild dogs or wild cats, and it comes down to the food. So really excited to be working on this big project, and Better Wild is going to be the brand of the products we're releasing. And then I start a foundation, Better Wild, where the profits are going to fund the Better Wild Foundation and all of this wildlife and animal rescues worldwide. We went to Australia and worked in the bushfires. I'm going to Costa Rica to work on some sharks. I've been to Uganda and going back to rewild some of the national parks that were hunted out back in the 70s. So it's cool to kind of like hit 2 passions of mine, the product to help animals, especially dogs with this awful condition they face, and then kind of using that people can help support this wildlife and other animal rescue work.
I love that. Listen to all the cool things you do. If you were able to talk to a 12-year-old version of yourself, would that 12-year-old believe all this amazing stuff is going to happen?
No, that's an interesting way to think about it. But, I've just been going. I've been really fortunate. My mom and dad and my mom still just support me always you can do this, and keep helping animals and, how can we help you? And, that's what I've tried to do with my kids and also kind of drag them along and be like, look what we're doing. We're all here on this earth and we all have the same, we all have these minutes, what can we do with our minutes? How can we help animals? How can we help people? And it's so linked on when you're helping animals, you're helping people. And even just the animal disease issues we see, there's such a, what they call one health perspective to it. If you help livestock in Uganda stay healthy, if you help small communities in Uganda stay healthy, the gorillas who pass through don't get as many infections. There's this really cool look at different diseases that pass. So that's been a big passion of mine, and it's been pretty cool to work on.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for over a decade of pouring your heart into this on television as well.
Thanks.
Again, Dr. Michelle Oakley, I've got a link to all the info in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, but it can also be expensive. Are you still paying for last year's Christmas gifts? Maybe you need better credit cards. We'd love to help at bettercreditcards.com. Find a card that's a better fit for your needs. Some like cards with points or miles. Others just want a lower rate. Find what you're looking for at bettercreditcards.com.
Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The South Pole is colder than the North Pole.
Well, we're going to have to change our travel plans.
There you go. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The Germans made the first artificial Christmas tree out of dry goose feathers. Well, that's kind of cool.
Huh.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The tallest Christmas tree ever was cut a 221-foot Douglas fir that was displayed in 1950 at the Northgate Shopping Center, Seattle, Washington.
That's
221
cool.
feet.
That's crazy.
That's huge. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Tiny Tim in Charles Dickens' classic A Christmas Carol was almost named, instead of Tiny Tim, Little Fred.
I think I'd heard that because Fred was his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The word nog, as in eggnog, comes from the word grog, which refers to any drink made with rum. I didn't realize that.
I have had grog, and
Yeah.
I actually enjoy it.
And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Until Coca-Cola came out with an ad, Santa Claus wore a purple or blue or green suit. But Coca-Cola did such a good job with the red and white suit in their ad that now that is what Santa chooses to
I
wear.
really like the red and white
Everywhere.
suit.
It's classic. It looks good. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. About 70% of people say they will buy this during the holidays. What is it? Oh, everybody, yeah.
70%?
70% buy this.
Wrapping paper.
Close. Scotch tape. See, it goes hand in hand with that. So you were on the right track. I'm giving you partial points.
Credit?
Yeah,
Thank you.
I keep up all these points, and then at the end of the year, she gets to pick anything from the top shelf. So. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and it can also be expensive. Are you still paying for last year's Christmas gifts? Maybe you need better credit cards. We'd love to help at bettercreditcards.com. Find a card that's a better fit for your needs. Some like cards with points or miles. Others just want a lower rate. Find what you're looking for at bettercreditcards.com.
Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Many North American cities are announcing the winners of their annual Name a Snowplow contest. In Ohio, the Turnpike there received 3,800 name submissions. This year, the winners, they announced, Don't Flurry, Be Happy.
Oh, that's
Scoop,
cute.
there it is. Blades of Flurry. Who Let the Plows Out? We're off to see the blizzard. I've Got Friends in Snow Places. Hang On Scoopy and Fast and Furious. I like those. Orangeville, Ontario, the 10 finalists have been announced. Darth Blader, Snow Diggity,
Cute.
Snow Way Out, Betty Whiteout, Snow More, Control Salt Delete, Snowbee Kenobi.
Yeah, cute.
Catch My Drift, Blizzard Wizard, and Fast and Furious again. So that was in both of them. So there you go. And there's all kinds of these all over the country where they do it. One was Better Call Salt.
Cute.
Plowy McPlowface. Looking to see if there's a...
That sounds like one I would have named.
Oh, just going to plow past you. That was a Midwest, Minnesota one. Oh, just going to plow past you. I've got a link to a bunch of them if you want to see all of the details. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. These are things not to buy for kids at Christmas. According to emergency doctors in a pediatrician wing, this doctor, it's got Dr. Beachgum 10. I don't know, that's their @ sign on Twitter or something. She shared 5 things that you should not ever buy. So anything with a button battery. If there's a little button battery, they say they can pop out of there and kids can swallow them. And every year they do.
Yeah.
Water beads. They're sold as sensory toys, but she said they can get eaten and they cause bowel obstructions. And they're bad for pets in addition to bad for kids. Electric scooters. They go way too fast. They hit a bump, they go flying off. That happened to your mother's friend. On our daughter's electric scooter. She went flying. I was like, oh, no.
I thought for sure we were going to have some issues.
Me
but
too.
She was fine.
She was. And I think there had been some drinking involved. Also, hoverboards for the same reason. They get all kinds of problems. And the last one on the list is trampolines. She says, do not get trampolines. So if you want to read the list, you can see it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Our quote today is anonymous. Anonymous says a lot of stuff, by the way. Anonymous says, I prefer not to think before speaking. I like being as surprised as everyone else by what comes out of my mouth.
I think we've read this one before, and I still like it.
I abide by that, too. There have been times I've said things, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that accurate? What I just said, is that true? Can somebody Google that? Because I don't know how I knew that, but apparently I did. That is your quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. I think this is pretty cool. This is a neat story. It says, here's a headline. Everybody needs to be loved. A trucker saves the day for a young man with autism. This comes out of Eureka, California. Heartwarming display of community spirit. Young man with autism experienced the joy of a lifetime during their trucker parade. What started as a potential disappointment turned into a magical day thanks to the kindness of a local trucker and the power of social media. Parker had his dream of riding in the 35th annual Truckers Christmas Parade almost shattered due to a last-minute mechanical failure because the guy who was originally going to give him a ride couldn't do it. Parker's hopes were restored, though, by the selfless gesture of a different man. His name is Mike Devine. Parker's love for semi-trucks has been a constant thing, despite the challenges posed by his autism. This trucking community, they do this trucker show every single year, a truck parade. It's a Christmas trucker parade. And he really wanted to ride in one of these trucks. And this is something he's wanted to do for a bit. And like I said, right before the trucker parade, there was a setback when the initial person he had arranged the ride with, he had a mechanical breakdown, couldn't go. That's when this other gentleman stepped up and goes, oh, I got room in here. And there's photos on here of this truck parade, and you can see how happy this kid is looking out the window and smiling. And these trucks are all decked out with lights. I think that is really cool that they do that. I think it's really neat. I've got a link to it if you'd like to see it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate Christmas, and those of you that celebrate other things. You celebrate the way you celebrate. We appreciate you as well. Love you. Happy holidays. And we will see you back here when we see you back here. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.